Hey, I'm really glad you are here because this conversation is an important one. Today we're talking about how to spot toxic patterns before they begin. Not just in the people we date, but in ourselves, in our reactions, in our emotional habits, and in the dynamics we allow. And listen, this isn't about looking back and thinking, I should have known better. This is about knowing more now, so you can choose better going forward. If you are new here, I'm Margo, and welcome to Keep Calm Margo, a place where we talk honestly about relationships, love, and how to grow into the man women naturally gravitate toward. So let's talk calmly, clearly, with respect for your journey. Section 1. Why we repeat the same relationship patterns. There is a well-known concept in psychology called repetition compulsion. It was first described by Freud, but it's been studied much more thoroughly in modern psychology. The idea is simple. We are drawn to situations that feel familiar, even if those situations hurt us. Not because we want pain, but because the familiar feels safe, predictable, even if it's unhealthy. For example, if you grew in a home where love was inconsistent, affection had to be earned, or emotional connection was unpredictable, then part of you may gravitate to relationships where you have to prove yourself, win someone over, or be good enough. Not because you consciously choose that, but because your nervous system recognizes this pattern and calls it home. There is a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology that followed couples over 12 years. Researchers found that people tend to form new relationships that recreate the emotional dynamics of their previous ones, even when those relationships were painful. Not because they didn't want change, but because the brain chooses familiarity over unknown. Understanding this doesn't make you weak, it makes you self-aware. And self-awareness is the first step toward freedom. You are not broken, you are human, and you are learning. Take a breath with that. Section 2. How toxic patterns actually begin. Toxic patterns don't start loudly, they start quietly with something small, something subtle. Not shouting, cheating, emotional withdrawal, or manipulation. Those are symptoms. The beginning looks like this. Ignoring your own discomfort because you don't want to start conflict. Making excuses for behavior that doesn't feel right. Feeling like you are not allowed to express what you need. Let's say you start dating someone and feel a tiny bit of tension after a comment they make. Something inside you says, that didn't feel good. But instead of acknowledging the feeling, you say, maybe I am overreacting. It's not a big deal. I'll just let it go. Except you don't actually let it go, you just swallow it. And that's the moment, that exact moment where the toxic pattern begins, when your truth becomes negotiable. Not because you are weak, but because you are trying to be understanding, because you are loyal, because you are patient. Those are strengths, but when they are used in the wrong context, they become self-erasing, and you deserve better than erasing yourself. Section 3. The key signs a pattern is turning toxic. Let's go slow here. No panic, no judgment. This isn't about labeling someone as a bad person. Most toxic behavior comes from insecurity, fear, or unhealed wounds. But your responsibility is to recognize the signs before you get emotionally invested to the point where living feels impossible. Here are 3 early signs to watch for. Your boundaries feel too inconvenient for them. Healthy relationship make space for needs, both people's. If every time you express something important you feel dismissed, brushed aside, or told it's not a problem, that's not partnership, that's emotional erasure. And you deserve to be heard. They want connection, but not accountability. Everyone makes mistakes, but healthy partners take responsibility. Toxic dynamics appear when someone defends instead of reflects, blames instead of listens, or turns everything into your fault. Accountability is not about blame, it's about care. You feel like you are trying not to upset them. Listen to this one carefully. If you feel like you have to manage their emotions, walk on eggshells, or shrink yourself to keep the peace, your nervous system is telling you something. A healthy relationship feels safe to be real in. Not perfect, but safe. You deserve that. Section 4. Healing begins with awareness, not self-blame. A lot of men, especially strong, capable men, tend to handle emotional pain alone. Not because they don't feel deeply, but because they were raised to cope quietly. You don't need to punish yourself for what you didn't see before. You don't need to be angry at the past version of you. That man was doing the best he could, and he got you here, to awareness, to growth, to clarity. Healing starts the moment you say, I see the pattern now. That's it. Awareness is enough to begin shifting everything. There is no shame here, only evaluation. Section 5. How to choose differently next time. Alright, let's talk solutions. Concrete, calm, and practical. Stay connected to your internal signals. If something feels off, pause. You don't have to react, just observe. Communicate early. Not aggressively, not emotionally explosive, just honest and steady. For example, I value clear communication. When things get brushed aside, I feel disconnected. I want us to understand each other. That's leadership, that's maturity, that's emotional stability. Choose partners who want to grow with you. Not someone perfect, not someone healed, just someone who takes responsibility for their side of the relationship. Growth is a two-person commitment. And you, my friend, are fully capable of leading with steadiness, self-awareness, and emotional clarity. Closing message. I want to tell you something clearly. You are not hard to love. You are not too much. You are not asking for anything unreasonable. You are simply asking for respect, mutual effort, emotional honesty, and peace. And those are not small things. They are the foundation of a healthy love story. When you recognize patterns early, you don't just avoid pain. You open the door to a relationship that actually nourishes you. One where your heart can exhale, one where your mind is calm, and where your strength is appreciated, not taken for granted. You are capable of that kind of relationship, you are worthy of it, and you are moving toward it now. I'm proud of you, truly. Thank you for being with me on Keep Calm, Margo. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!